Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another epic edition of Madden predicting the Carolina Panthers' current opponent, the outcome of the current opponent they're going to be facing this week, who is the New England Patriots, who are coming to town Cam Newtonless, Mac Jones as their starting quarterback, who has actually done a pretty stand-up job as given what he's got as you know, weapons and as an offensive line. Not a bad team, not a great team, a lot of opportunity to take advantage of it. Carolina Panthers coming off of a win last week against the Atlanta Falcons rather, and hoping to be able to gather this momentum and continue to push it forward, and hopefully getting a win in front of the home crowd. Tony is going to be joining us today. Good old Tony Dunn, the professor. Talk to me about what you're hoping to see from the Carolina Panthers this week against the Patriots.
Man, I tell you, Cody, is these teams are both 4-4 going into this week. The Carolina Panthers were sliding, but defeated the Atlanta Falcons to move to 500, and the Patriots surging to 500. Today, somebody's coming out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a great start for the Carolina Panthers as they got the opening kickoff. They went 3 and out on that opening drive. Just 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Ian Thomas not able to push that across the line to gain to get that new set of downs. It's going to bring up 4th down and kicking the ball back to the New England Patriots.
Matt Rhule's had a lot of good things to say about Ian Thomas this year. It's interesting, Sam Darnold suffered a concussion this past week, but out of here. 3 and out? Was that 3 and out?
That was 3 and out.
Yeah. I feel like Greg Olsen in his first day in the booth, because we're getting a little, I guess, the abbreviated version. Now the Carolina Panthers defense out there trying to frustrate this rookie, Mac Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to kind of give everybody an idea, if somebody is listed as limited and not listed as out, they are in the game. CMC is not technically on the active roster, so he is not in here with us. And Shaq Thompson lays the boom down for a tackle for a loss, brings up a 2nd and 11, continuing his amazing success from last week.
Another week where I have to send flowers to Shaq Thompson and apologies. Man, this guy changed his number to number 7 and is playing lights out. Last week, he had 10 tackles, an interception after returning from injury. Exciting to see this leader becoming a leader on this defense.
Yeah, Shaq Thompson is well missed from this defense over those few weeks that he was out due to that injury. And this is going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Mac Jones drops back, tries to find his receiver on the boundary, unable to come down with it. In coverage, Justin Burris breaking up the pass, bringing up another 3 and out. 4th down for the Patriots, kicking the ball back to the Carolina Panthers, giving them another crack at trying to get some score on the board here.
Look at this play. He's looking for the ball. He's swatting it away. Justin Burris actually means a lot to this defense. And if you've been following Matt Rhule's conversations for the past 2 years, he's talked very highly about Justin Burris, despite what fans have been saying.
Yes, no, it's this defense as a whole has been very effective. And right there, Sam Darnold finds Terrace Marshall Jr., who's also listed as limited this week. So we're going to see if he comes back and is actually able to make an impact play like he just did, taking the ball to the 37-yard line of the New England Patriots. Big-time play, big-time catch, and big-time throw there from Sam Darnold.
I don't know who's more excited, the rookie, myself, or Rat Mule right there.
Rat Mule is definitely going to be super excited to see his quarterback slinging the rock, being accurate. 2nd and 3 here. Chuba Hubbard with all day in front of him, takes it across the 10, almost crossing the boundary into the red zone.
Like a beautiful gazelle running through the Sahara. Chuba Hubbard, oh my Lord, a rookie getting a lot of action.
A lot of action, and that's something that you hoped to see last week. He actually came through on that, and this week he's continuing to pick up where he left off. On a team that's missing Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard has been there. Amir Abdullah, we talked very highly about in the post game and even last week on Tuesday about how he performed against the Falcons. Let's see if this running back tandem can actually get it going here today. Sam Darnold hands off to Chuba Hubbard. He's almost making it across the boundary.
They got a fullback in there, CK.
Yeah.
Right to the goal line. I'm interested to see, did he get there or not? They called him down at the 2-yard line?
Yeah, 2-yard line. I think they did not give him the benefit of the spot.
That's a cruddy spot.
Yeah, cruddy spot. And also, I don't think it was a touchdown, but it was definitely a cruddy spot. Oh, and unfortunately, Chuba Hubbard takes the loss of yards there. Instead of pushing it up the field, he continues to try to get the edge. He was not able to do it, and they are going to go down for a loss there on the 4-yard line.
It's tough to see a sweep play for a loss like that. Oh, Sam Darnold's throwing to an empty spot. Just an empty spot. You're going in the 4th down here. You look like the Panthers are going to probably bring out their kicking team. Rhule, not happy on the sideline.
Yeah, not happy with his coaching staff, not happy with the way that offense performed there towards the end. They had an opportunity to score a touchdown. They got it all the way down to the 2-yard line, thanks in part to Sam Darnold and Chuba Hubbard. But unfortunately, they were unable to push it into the end zone here. Zane Gonzalez, NFC Special Teams Player of the Week this past week, comes in here, puts the first points up on the board today.
Zane Gonzalez bangs it through, and CK, the Panthers had a lot of question marks on this field goal kicking team, or Joey Slye they've released. They had somebody else that everybody's already forgotten who had a wonderful mustache. And now Zane Gonzalez, though, trying to establish himself as a real kicker in the NFL.
Trying and succeeding. He's doing an incredible job. I don't think that we have had an opportunity to talk about the kicker position at all for the past 3 or 4 weeks with him at the helm. He had a rough first game.
That's a good thing.
It is a beautiful thing. He had a rough first game, but since then he has turned it on, and he has been nothing but a pleasant surprise. Super happy to see how he was able to come back and actually continue to get better. That's what you hope to see. As Mac Jones out of the shotgun does some play action here. The defense doesn't bite, but he's got all day, unfortunately.
Ball came out, but he recovered it.
Unfortunately, that was a first down that moves the sticks. Henry, one of their big-time acquisitions in the offseason, was able to get that ball across the line to gain, giving them a new set of downs, bringing up the second quarter as the Carolina Panthers lead the New England Patriots 3-0. Patriots got the ball, and they're trying to drive.
Hunter Henry's had an exceptional season so far, and really over the past couple weeks picked it up. You got to wonder how they're going to try to implement this 2 tight end system. The Carolina Panthers do match up well against the tight end type package. If you think about Jeremy Chin, if you think about Justin Burris, Shaq Thompson's great in coverage. And we got defensive ends who can drop back. Morgan Fox coming off a big game last week. Let's see how he responds. Can we get some pressure?
No pressure.
No pressure.
And an easy completion across the middle. Mac Jones, efficient, accurate, doing what he needs to do to keep these chains moving along the way as they continue to drive into Carolina Panthers territory. It's now going to be 3rd and 8 from the 46 of the Carolina Panthers.
It's a quiet second quarter so far.
Yep, Mac Jones again all day. And Gilmore is able to bring him down for a 4th down, or brings up a 4th down rather. Gilmore continuing to impress, showed a lot of positive things last week in his limited action on the field, but Gilmore makes the play there, gets the ball back to the Carolina Panthers as the Patriots will punt here.
Gilmore's really given a lot of dynamics to this defense and the ability for Phil Snow to call more man coverage. And on top of that, last week he immediately said, hey, I want to cover Kyle Pitts, and finished the game with an interception. Really an important addition, it seems like, who's making an impact already on this team. Former Defensive Player of the Year. Got to be excited about the hometown hero, Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore, the only thing that ever concerned me about Gilmore with this trade is if, it works out, that's great. But he's at the age Revis was at when he started to decline, and I'm hoping we don't see that here. Sam Darnold finds Robbie Anderson, who takes a big-time hit, but he did not do what he did last week.
2 weeks in a row.
He did not drop the ball this time. Holds on through the contact. Robbie Anderson If he continues to play like that and show that type of toughness we saw from him last week and continuing this week, this guy can be a contributor.
Really nice to see him hold on to the ball after struggling this season. Look, they go to Robbie Anderson again, who has struggled with catching the ball and a lot of people have referenced wondering how that contract is worked into it. But Robbie Anderson's still a good player. Maybe he's getting rid of the yips.
Getting rid of the yips, getting rid of the uncertainty surrounding him. Sam Darnold making sure to feed him so he can build his confidence as well. 3rd and 1. Sam Darnold hands it off to Chuba Hubbard, who pushes through the contact, gets all the way up the field to the 43-yard line. Trying to push that midfield position, unable to make it there, but big-time gain from a running back who is considered a second string.
I tell you, Chuba Hubbard never looks pretty when he's running after that first contact, but he keeps moving. He keeps those legs churning. He always looks like he's falling down, but he falls down 5 yards further. Nice way to keep those legs churning and keep the Panthers alive. 2 minutes left here. Let's see what they can do.
Sam Darnold, with nobody in his face, is able to find Chuba Hubbard. Who else across the middle?
Oh my gosh! He's Player of the Week, NFC Player of the Week.
NFC Offensive Player of the Week, inbound for Chuba Hubbard. We'll see how that actually goes, but that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
1 catch for 20 yards.
1 catch for 20 yards. That is still an improvement from having no catches for no yards. Chuba Hubbard.
It's a career game. It's career game.
Sam Darnold takes the snap. All day, no pressure, and he finds Ricci across the middle again, and that's going to be a nice gain there, but it's going to bring up 4th and 2, and that's the 2-minute warning. You got to imagine they're going to do a field goal here. They're from the 32-yard line, 4th and 2. They're going to go for it.
You like this aggressive nature right here, going into the hot hand, acting like a crazy person.
He's just playing games.
Left and right. You got to go north and south, Chuba Hubbard. But still, I think forward progress gives him the first down. The Carolina Panthers need to extend this, and it would be nice, CK, for us to go up 10-0. Who the heck gets the ball in the second half? I want to know.
The Patriots. The Panthers got the ball the first to get the ball in the first half, and he finds Robbie Anderson, who breaks the tackle, and he gets the touchdown.
The yips are gone. The yips are gone. Yip, yip, yip. You're right.
Robbie Anderson coming in off of a tough week, a tough few weeks really, comes in, immediately makes an impact on that important drive, not only scoring the touchdown, getting a few major conversions, getting a lot of big-time yards, comes in, does what he needs to do, pushes it into the end zone. Robbie Anderson and Sam Darnold's got that connection going, baby.
Scoring this touchdown is so important for the Carolina Panthers. Going into the locker room, you've got Sam Darnold, who has been struggling. Literally, his brain has been rattling around in his head for the past week, and he has been going and preparing to go against Bill Belichick, who has known him, owned him for his entire career.
Right.
This is a great start for the Carolina Panthers. Their defense now can get after and frustrate this young quarterback. That's what you hope if you are Phil Snow.
Absolutely. 42 seconds left in the game, or into the half, and they're going to do a screen. Who's able to push it out to the outside and get the ball out of bounds, stopping the clock on the Panther side of the field on the 46-yard line. They're really trying to knock on this door to get some points before the half, and if they're able to do it, you got to give some props to Mac Jones in this offense.
New England's got 2 timeouts. The entire playbook is open. The middle of the field is open here. They're just trying to get 3 points and going into the locker room.
34 seconds left. Finds his receiver again.
It's a timeout.
Doesn't even need to use the timeout there because he's able to get it out of bounds there. Throws it to the boundary. Really smart play calling. Great decision by Mac Jones. And that's going to put them in field goal range at the Carolina Panthers 30-yard line with 32 seconds left in the game.
Jason Bourne coming in here. Oh, not Jason Bourne. I'm sorry. I was at the movies last night.
Yeah, Jason Bourne. Listen, with that accuracy and that weapon that he is just there in that play, we can call him Jason Bourne. That doesn't matter. And they're able to get it out of bounds again. 23 seconds left on the 14-yard line of the Carolina Panthers. They are going to score at least a field goal here.
Really disappointing effort by the Carolina Panthers defense, unable to just force them out here, because going into this locker room up 10-0 would be very important for this team. Let's see if this defense can respond at the last second. Got to think it's a tough scenario.
2nd and 9. Mac Jones is running away from Brian Burns.
Spidey senses.
Spidey Burns.
What happened on 4th down?
What happened on? Yeah, it's 3rd and 21. 8 seconds left in the game. They have no timeouts. They've got to probably go for the field goal here.
You got to think they got to kick a field goal.
They're definitely kicking the field goal here.
Brian Burns, you know, who is having a good season so far, but the hopes were and the expectations were so high for this player. Nice to see him to get home, take this quarterback down, and limit the damage here as the Patriots bang through a field goal.
Yeah, the Patriots were able to get on the scoreboard before the half. Again, major props to this offense. Bill Belichick and Mac Jones have done what they needed to do to scheme things correctly. This is going to take us into the second half, into halftime, and Carolina Panthers still coming in with a lead 10-3 over the New England Patriots, who are visiting, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive. Really, their hopes of winning the division, I think, are slim at this point in time because the Bills have a firm grasp on that. But in this game, the Carolina Panthers are winning in almost every major category and doing it very well.
I was talking to Coach Rhule before the game, and he was saying how the real identity of this team was a defensive team. You've heard this in his press conferences for the past week. Now's the opportunity for this defense to prove it. Coming out of halftime, up a touchdown, give this offense the leniency to run the ball, grind the clock out, and really put the screws to this rookie quarterback in Mac Jones. Let's see if this defense does what Matt Rhule believes it should do.
Yeah, Matt Rhule here trying to hype up his boys. They're trying to go out there to make sure that they can stop this New England Patriots team from scoring on this opening drive of the second half. Mac Jones, a lot to prove this year, and you got to imagine the pressure on his shoulders have got to be immense. He's coming in filling shoes of a giant quarterback, a guy who is considered the greatest of all time, who he's going to be compared to for the entirety of his entire career. And he is coming in, and he's actually done a pretty good job maintaining through the pressure. We all laughed. We all made fun of him. We all laughed at his name and his body and everything. But he has actually been the best rookie quarterback in this draft class, and it's not even a question at this point.
McCorkle Jones hands the ball off for a loss. This defense looks ready to go.
Shaq Thompson in there leading the way for that tackle for a loss. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 here. Carolina Panthers hoping to force just a 3-and-out here on the New England Patriots. If they're able to do that, that is a major win, especially after how the half ended prior to this.
This is the situation you want to be in if you're the Carolina Panthers defense, putting a rookie who has all day but just takes the underneath shot. You do want to put them in poor down and distance. 3rd and long is the way to go. Now, CK, the third quarter has been the Achilles heel for the Carolina Panthers offense. I hope they could come out here and continue to build on the momentum that they saw in the second quarter.
Yeah, we can talk about the third quarter because it is a major problem. It has been all year. They did score points last week in the third quarter, which was a nice change of pace. It was 3 points, but they scored the points nonetheless. And it was an interesting day last week against the Falcons, who are not a vaunted defense. This offense had some rhythm and had some efficiency to it, and that's what you hope to see from somebody who struggled like Sam Darnold. Joe Brady struggling as a play caller. They did a very good job that last week. They have done a pretty stand-up job today as Darnold gets the ball over to Robbie Anderson again, who has been a big-time contributor in this game already. 4 receptions, 57 yards. Not a lot of receptions, but still making a major impact on this squad.
It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Robbie Anderson's catching the ball, and the Carolina Panthers offense is moving the ball in the third quarter. Let's see some points put up here.
That's what you're hoping to see. If you can answer here, you're putting yourself at such a major advantage. Sam Darnold taking the snap out of the shotgun, has all day no pressure in his face. He's gonna run it himself. He's going all the way to the 20. Nobody's touching him. And he goes through into the end zone.
Boom, boom. Sammy D throwing down the big D. I'm telling you, this guy's legs have been working for him, and Joe Brady seemingly starting to realize that. Sam Darnold, I like to see that aggressiveness. He knew he needed this touchdown right here. He knew this team needed these points. New day, new dawn, new Darnold.
New Darnold putting that entire defense on skates, it seems, as he was able to glide into the end zone, and that defense can't be happier with how that happened. They got a nice break, and they're going to be coming out and able to rush the quarterback, because right now, when you're down by 2 possessions, almost in the fourth quarter, it is a passing game type of offense, and that means you can pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. Let's see if this defensive line can actually get some pressure on Mac Jones and cause him to make some mistakes.
I tell you one thing, if I'm a defensive player for the New England Patriots, I am not ready to talk to Bill Belichick, who is going to be very upset about this performance.
Yeah, he's going to be very upset as the running back gets all the way up the middle across the midfield, but there is a flag. Hold the phones. Illegal block in the back on the Patriots. It's going to bring the ball all the way back. That is a major penalty, something you hate to see, especially from a Bill Belichick coach squad. You hate to see it if you're not a Panther fan, that is.
That's a 25 to 30 yard run right up the gut, and they call a block in the back on the receiver. What a dagger.
An absolute dagger. They're still trying to get across midfield here as Shaq Thompson ends the
Shaq Thompson was signaling. He was signaling before that play. Man, what a career year, Shaq Thompson. The new number. He's a new player. This guy has been making a difference. So glad to see him back in the lineup and healthy.
Madden has been very accurate in what they've portrayed Shaq Thompson to be as a player. He has been impactful. He has been so important to what this squad's defensive identity is. It is about making sure you're hitting the running back, hitting the quarterback, not letting anybody not getting the run game going, because if the run game gets going, you're putting a lot more pressure on the secondary, and Shaq has been a major contributor to the way that this defense has been running. Shaq, you love to see a guy like that come back into the lineup, especially one that has taken a lot of criticism over the past few years as being less than valuable for where he was drafted at and where his contract put him at. But we're starting to see why that contract was so important.
That may be one of the more important quarters and series of the season, CK, as the defense puts this team in a position to close this game out. A team that was on the skids just 2 weeks ago. A team that had Sam Darnold, whose brains rattle around his head, who is lacking confidence, now is coming out here in a great position to dominate this fourth quarter.
Absolutely. He's been accurate. Finds DJ Moore, who makes a defender miss, getting it across the 45-yard line, almost at midfield. DJ Moore, who has been all but absent today, is able to get some stuff going, breaks a big-time play there again.
And like they say, go DJ, go DJ, go. Go DJ, go DJ, go.
Go DJ, go DJ, go. All right, DJ Moore making Devin McCourty
getting back in the action. Everybody is getting back on track.
Absolutely. McCourty on skates there as well. Sam Darnold looks like he's going to scramble. No, he throws the ball to a wide open DJ Moore on the boundary.
How is that? It looked like he got tackled by a guy on the sidelines. What a terrible decision to throw it across the field, across his body, but somehow it works out. Everything is working out today for the Carolina Panthers. Even the third quarter worked out.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised throw, but at least it was accurate. It was put in a place where only DJ Moore could get it. He was wide open, and Sam Darnold got the connection there. It's the 2nd and 7 as they are now in Patriots territory. Hands it off to Chuba Hubbard, who's able to push it across the across the 30, gets them a new set of downs. Chuba Hubbard getting some big-time plays here.
It's time for the Carolina Panthers to start thinking about running this clock down, running Chuba Hubbard, run this New England Patriots team into the ground. You do want to score, but wouldn't it be nice to extend this drive for another minute and a half and score a touchdown?
That's the ideal scenario. It's a 2-possession game now. 5 minutes left in the game. Sam Darnold finds Robbie Anderson over the middle again.
surprised how much the working out of the shotgun and throwing the ball here in this situation. But it looks like Joe Brady has confidence in Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold has confidence in Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson, this is exactly what you want to see from a guy that you want to continue to feed him. You can't let his poor performance continue to get into his head and make it harder for him to, actually do the job that he was essentially hired to do. Robbie Anderson coming out and proving that he is the guy, and he's showing it there again. Another contested catch, and he's able to get the first down at the 4-yard line. Carolina Panthers, they're doing what you asked for, and that is drawing this clock down by more than a minute, and they are knocking.
Again, out of the shotgun, again to Robbie Anderson. You got to wonder now, up 14, if this team is just trying to establish confidence for players who have struggled throughout the season, i.e. Sam Darnold, i.e. Robbie Anderson.
Absolutely. Sam Darnold takes the snap, and he finds a contested Terrace Marshall Jr., and he gets the touchdown. Sam Darnold, here's what I think is happening here, Tony. I think that Sam Darnold's coming into a game that he has faced these Patriots way too many times to count in his short career, and he has not had success. He needed to come out here and dominate the Patriots and Bill Belichick, and that is what this offense is doing. That's what Joe Brady is doing, and that's what Matt Rhule is doing. That is why you're not seeing the gas lifted off the pedal.
I tell you, 2 weeks ago, you never think this team could have done this. But right now, this team looks like they are starting to believe in themselves. Joe Brady believing in himself. Sam Darnold believing in himself. Terrace Marshall Jr. having the game, his career game. Chuba Hubbard caught the ball, and Robbie Anderson has been dominant. This is what you want. 24-3. You can't script it better than this.
3rd and 2. And it's an incompletion. Mac Jones unable to connect. That was just a bad.
Shaq Thompson.
That was a poor throw and unable to get that first down. That's going to bring up a 4th down. This is definitely 4-down territory. They're most likely going to go for it. 2 yards to gain. Carolina Panthers have this all but one. Mac Jones and that offense are still out on the field.
I feel like you look at this score right here and you say this is a dominant defensive performance. But really, I feel the offense has been so dominant and so effective. They put the defense in a win-win situation and made it easy for them.
Made it easy and provided them the ability to rest and also come with a singular focus, and that is get to the quarterback, because you know that this game from this point forward is all going to be passing attack, where Mac Jones is able to find a guy over the midfield. They are definitely pushing into Carolina Panthers territory a little too late if you look at the clock with 2 minutes on the board still.
It's a 3-possession game at this point. It's going to be impossible for this team to come back. You're ready for the Panthers to get the ball back and take a knee, and for us to go home and enjoy these 4 o'clock games.
Go home, enjoy the 4 o'clock games, and hope that your NFC South rivals aren't having any type of success, so that we can try and actually take some, or at least come close to winning the division. Right now, we are definitely not in the race, but it is not impossible. As right now, depending upon what happens this week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently 5-2. The New Orleans Saints are 5-2, and we have the tiebreaker over them, and we are currently 4-4. So, essentially, we've all got one more game than each of them, I believe.
All day long. And how long can Stephon Gilmore gets the batted pass there. When you think about... That's game over.
Game over. It's certainly game over. There's a minute and 30 seconds left.
These guys are high-fiving each other over there. They're talking about what they're going to do, what they're going to buy their girlfriends for Christmas.
This defensive line is...
Mac Jones' time, though. Good Lord, actually very surprised with how much time he's had, but it has not mattered as this secondary has played so well.
They played incredibly well, and when you look at what this offense has done right now, the current breakdown is they've run 26 passing plays and 5 running plays, which is a testament to this offense that are the Carolina Panthers offense giving taking the lead, kind of forcing this offense to be one-dimensional of the Patriots. And right there, Mac Jones, whereas he's not made any major mistakes, he has definitely not been lighting up the scoreboard, as they haven't even gotten a touchdown yet. They might get one here. We'll see. But when you think about this team, the Carolina Panthers, moving forward, they have a really tough schedule on the horizon. There's still a lot of winnable games, but that final stretch, as we talked about, is a murderer's row. And, when you think about what we've seen the past couple of weeks, what is your optimism for this team, Tony?
Well, that's a difficult question, because after the Patriots won last week on the road against the Chargers, look at that.
And there's Fox.
Look at Fox. Finally, they've been showing his name all day long, more than I've seen him in real life on Madden, but he finally gets home. Tell you this is that, look, think about this. The Patriots, who started off very slow, then went on a 3-game winning streak, and then goes on the road and beats the Los Angeles Chargers. All of a sudden, everybody thinks this is a team that could make some hay. As we were simultaneously writing off the Carolina Panthers, I don't know. Carolina Panthers, it may not be pretty. It may not be great. They beat the Falcons. Now beating this New England team, maybe they haven't given up on themselves just yet.
Yeah, they definitely haven't. This Patriots team is definitely one that has a lot of optimism surrounding it. They're able to get the touchdown there, but there's a flag down on the play. Jeremy Chin in coverage, not happy. And that is against Jeremy Chin, and they're going to decline it. They're going to take the points, but it is the end of the game. It's irrelevant. Carolina Panthers come home with a win, and in a pretty convincing fashion, at least as as Madden would make you believe.
Tough bill to fill for the New England Patriots to win 2 games on the road. You would think that beating the Chargers, though, that the Panthers would be the better, I guess a reasonable opponent, but the Panthers came out today and totally dominated this team.
Totally.
100% on both sides of the ball. Even the fact that the score only by 14 points is not it's irrelevant to what really we saw on the field.
Total domination.
This Panthers defense, fantastic, but this Panthers offense today,
consistent.
Oh my Lord. Best I've seen all season.
Best you've seen all season. Probably one of the best Madden performances. I don't think that we've won by this large of a margin all year in the Madden simulations. So it's quite interesting to see the way that Madden perceives this team as opposed to what the general public sees. Carolina Panthers winning again in every major category, almost doubling the average yards per play, had 103 rushing yards to their 11. This team, this defense, just absolutely shut down the New England Patriots in every part of what they like to do. Sam Darnold comes out with a 77% completion, 2 touchdowns, and one of those was a rush touchdown as well, or 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown, and incredible performance by Sam Darnold. Now,
most important stat for me, CK, is that to see and how it translates to this win is 0 turnovers by the Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold with one of his better performances of the season. Look, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles. And the guys are catching the ball. And it was nothing special. There was nothing fancy to it. It was just execution. You like to see them getting back on track.
Very, very much so. It was very methodical, and it's what you like to see from an offense that has been very much inconsistent throughout the past 5 weeks, really. Last week was definitely a step up, and you're hoping they continue to build on that success. Now, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this week's edition of Madden simulating the Carolina Panthers success. Now, do me a favor in the comments. Tell me what you think the actual outcome would be. And also, if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and follow us, man. We got a lot of content coming out. We got Friday Free for All coming out. We got the post game, every game after every Sunday game. We got the Tuesday night games and the Wednesday debate my take and beat check. There's so much you guys can see and kind of fill the void. We're in a world of content absorption, and you need to look no further than the C3 Panthers podcast. We're doing everything we can to fill that time that you guys are looking for that content to be filled with. So, Tony, I appreciate you joining me.
I got one thing left to say. I need those people in the comment section telling me how I did on my first time as a color commentator. Boy, big shoes to fill when it comes to Cody Lashney. Big shoes to fill when it comes to One Carolina. I'm telling you guys have done such a fantastic job. I hope you invite me back to the booth.
Oh, you're always welcome. And it's an open invitation, just like I told One Carolina. It's always fun when we can get people on here that can kind of keep it interesting, and that's what everybody's done so far. So it's been very fun, and something that I think we'll continue to do, not just this year but next year and there beyond. But guys, there's one last thing to say. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.